Okay, now before you get any ideas, okay, now I'm not against Americans. Some of my good friends are Americans. On Facebook, some help run the page. What this video sort of shows is just we're just two different people, and I've said this in the past that Americans and British we're too different, right? I'm probably feel it more at home with Canadians because they get our humour, right? And I've said this in the Queen videos that I made that they, especially in the 80s, they were a very homophobic bunch of people in America. Well, the business side of things anyway, right? And probably a lot of other countries were sort of, but times have moved and times have changed and everything else. Because they made the video, Queen made a video of We Want to Break Free, and they dressed up as people from soaps, guys dressing up as women. Now that's happened a lot in the UK past, and I'm sadly enough that Americans don't do it. And what it is called pantomime. We UK people do it every year for Christmas. Okay, we put on a show. It could be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It could be Jackie and the Beanstalk, and because it's theatre, just like William Shakespeare and stuff, you would get men dressed up as women or women dressed up as men, Victorian times and stuff, and this all dates back to Shakespearean stuff, okay? Where you would have an all-male stage show where, some women could be portrayed, could be played as men and vice versa, right? So, I've been watching this couple just now, and they're called the Postmodern Family. And I'll show you a wee clip on this. And I don't know if it's posh class, high class, or it's workman's class, but they just seem very, very fake and go, yes. And it's a wee bit quite like what we have over here when it comes to snobbery. You don't know what snob is, it's just people that are posh and, oh, look at this is nice, this is how the poor people do things. Yeah, so we're so above them. It's that sort of attitude that really gets me. And so in these videos, they've been asked to watch these comedy clips, but they're not really watching comedies. They're watching snippets from the TV shows, which would basically explain what the whole episode's about. So, for instance, they watch a wee bit of a series called Blackadder, where in the storyline there is it's way back in Victorian times, and there's a bit in it where a girl is pretending she's a boy in order to work wherever she's working with the Queen and stuff like that, okay? And we all know the joke in itself is that we all know that, that's a girl. And we laugh at these things that all the other people don't know, okay? Because we know we're in on the joke. But sadly enough, that somehow goes beyond this couple, because everything with America, everything needs to be cheesy. Everything needs. You look at the soaps or you look at the comedy that they watch, and there's a lot of it that is. It's kind of like manga. It's all sort of explained and cheesy. It's a wee bit like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or a Walt Disney TV show for kids. It's that sort of way where they have to put in the laugh thing in order for you to think that it's funny. But don't get me wrong, there is a lot of places in America that shares our sort of humour. Like there's New York. I believe New York, after watching the Jersey Boys, they're more like Scottish people, like ourselves. That they can, tell somebody that they're an idiot, and then laugh. But if you were to go someplace like Florida, which I went to, by the way, we went to Florida, and there was a hurricane blowing out. This was around about September the 11th. And we were in Florida, and there was a hurricane, and we had to get back to another hotel because the planes were cancelled because of the tower thing. And all the person behind the desk could go was, well, really? Oh man, I'm so sad for you. It's unreal. Here's the bill. Here's the money. Where's the money? Oh, you got no food? Oh, it's that sort of thing. And you're thinking, it's all fake, it's all smiles. You know those people you go on the rides with, right? You go on the rides and they have to act in order that they're experiencing something, and it's all kind of fake. It's like that. But Canada, right? Canada gets the humour. That's why it worked over in Canada, and many of the, like the Queen things is over the Queen things where I want to break free. They sort of get it. They got the humour. And as I say, New Jersey, the Jersey boys, I think maybe they would get the humour. But as I say, this couple's only watching wee snippets, right? Like there was two shop dealers, and it's called Only Fools and Horses. So basically, they have wee markets. They put up a wee market. And I know America has a marketplace, right? And they sell second-hand store, and they get into a wee van with free wheels. And they're like, and this couple is like, what? Why are they getting dressed like that? Why are they dressed up as Batman and Robin? Why? Oh, I don't know. Oh, uh, and this is now. I know America can make great TV shows like The Newsroom, okay, where they have and it's a fantastic TV show, and Frasier, right? They can get intellectual comedies, right? I'm not saying that, but there's definitely cultures in America which I would put to the same bracket as snobby or high class, or been sheltered from what you call sarcasm, and that's the main thing. America doesn't get sarcasm, and we thrive on it. I mean, we watch what's those boys and Practical Jokers, right? That there's some places in America where they just don't get that sort of humour, and it's just weird. And so roundabout way, right? America and UK, right? Although we'd have the same language, right? We might as well be alien. Right? We might as well be, Asia, and they might as well be Russian. That's the difference of cultures. Even though we may say similar things with English language and our ethnic codes are the same, but there's a lot of things about us that are different. And I'll add a couple of links to these shows, and it's just and what gets me is the fact that when our comedies go to America, they make their own version of it, which I hate. I would rather see the original. And it's I mean, there was a relative of ours who watched like The Office. Now The Office is brilliant. The Office is my I like the humour, I like that. But then there's the American cheesy version that's shameless, okay, and it's just I'll let you see. Here we go. I'll put something on. We're just totally different people. So, to Ronnie's, we're at home.
I'm Nicole Collins Corey. I'm a CEO and Grammarly user. Grammarly helps me with making.
Right, here we go.
It's like, alright, this is the name, I got it.
I don't know. Yeah, that was good. I like that.
What? 30. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at the state of him.
I know.
God.
Sweater.
Sore tips. I knew that. That's a big London auction house. I think.
Now we come to lot 73. Solid silver pocket marine tank.
Marine.
This was found in London by two brothers.
Oh, these are.
Fortunately, they
They're
found
brothers?
these
Yeah.
16 years believing it to be a Victorian paint tank.
Oh, there's a studio last track.
Very chronological terms of this section. The watch has been authenticated and accepted by all the leading experts. Being the last watch ever made by John Harrison. It is the fabled H6.
They have no idea.
No.
Now, mythical lesson.
It's Lord Nelson's famous signal at the back of the Nile. England knows Lady Hamilton is a virgin. Poke my eye out and cut off my arm if I'm wrong. Okay, dig out your best booze and let's talk about me till the car comes. Yeah, must be pretty impressed having Squadron Commander the Lord Glassheart drop in on your squalid bit of line. Actually, no. I was more impressed by the contents of my handkerchief the last time I blew my nose. Yeah, why, pal? You've probably got little pictures of me on the wall of your dugout, haven't you? I bet you go all girly and giggly every time you eat. Unfortunately, most of the infantry think you're a prat. Ask them who they prefer to meet, Squadron Commander Flashheart and the man who cleans out the public toilets in Aberdeen. They go for wee jock Poopong McFlop.
What happened?
Yeah.
Why?
Who's offended?
Where is the malingering gift?
Now those bits, they're just like insults and stuff like that. I mean, as I said, you saw them laughing at some bits, but there's a lot of bits. They've made videos like 10 weird things about British homes, like flush and plug sockets and garages. And to be honest, some of them were pretty, kind of agreeable, like garages and why do you not put your car in a garage and stuff. Because most of the time these garages were built before these modern cars, and we just didn't have the money. We don't have the land that America has got, and everything has to be huge and big. But what British does have is we have the National Health Service, where you don't need to be rich to get looked after, and we have gun control, which means you come over here and you don't carry a gun, so to speak. So there's food cultures as well. There's so many different flavours of food. So I want you to check these out. And if you're American yourself, right, let me know if you've actually tried watching episodes of any of these wee free links. And don't watch a wee bit. Watch a full episode if you can. Because we're inundated with American comedy shows. And so I want to find out if there's a lot of British comedy shows over there. And if they are you watching them? And if not, then ask why not. Why not have some British comedy over there, and so we can actually become closer together? Have pantomimes. Pantomimes is where kids and family go to the theatre. It can be their first experience of a theatre, and they put on shows that have got some songs, some jokes for kids, and in between all that you have jokes for adults. You have it all sing along and everything else. And I think we just don't take ourselves that serious. And we're not scared to get our opinions across. And and call each other names, but still love each other and respect each other and everything else. And that's what we are. But in America, I think there's parts of America where they have to put a pretense on. You know, and there's lots of, it's like China, there's lots of rules and restrictions and how to behave and everything else. So let us know what differences there are, or what sort of, or maybe ideas of trying to integrate between our two countries, the UK and America, and how we can. I mean, I then tuned into a young couple going to London for the first time and seeing the double-decker bus and everything else, things that we all take for granted. And that's the sad thing is America is too busy exploring other parts of America, but very rarely, unless you're rich, can you afford to come over to the UK. And likewise here. The only time we sort of experiences America is through your sitcoms. So I honestly thought, after watching Friends, that, oh yeah, like us, you go to cafes, you have a cup of tea, and you chat and stuff like that. But then when I get over there, my God, with 4 locks on the door, and the water is a way up high or something in the toilets. Was that just in Spain? I can't remember. And then there's the smoke coming from the sewers. There's, you know, you cannot put tomato ketchup on omelettes. There's cops running around with guns. It's not exactly a big friendly city. But this was just New York. But there were so many, you know, there was just so much differences. I felt, even though the buildings and the shops were the same, there was just a lot of difference. And I suddenly realised that New York wasn't what I pictured it at, and what we see in our TV soaps that somehow produce this idea that we're all the same, we aren't. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's the fact that we're different is good. The bad thing is that we really have to be more open-minded and experience and try to understand the other countries and get to understand the different humours and the jokes. I mean, if America can laugh at Billy Connolly, surely we can laugh at people like Eddie Murphy. You know, that's what brings us together, is comedy and understanding where the humour comes from. I mean, that woman, all she could comment on was the state of the jumper. Did she not realise that he was playing sort of a poor man that's sort of... You know, we don't notice the same things. And thankfully, as I say, music like Queen and comedy can bridge that. But we need to do so much more. And comics, our passion for comics and TV shows. But when we go over to these countries, that's when we really, or live over there for some time, that's when we realise who we all are in the whole scheme of things and what every country does. You know, and that's the sad thing is not everyone, especially in America, can go to these foreign islands, foreign lands, or go to Asia and everything else. We all have our prejudice, we all have our racist sort of views and whatnot, which I hate, because we don't understand the culture or the nature that much. We just, if it's totally alien to us, then it's bad. So enjoy these links and let us know what you think.